Is this the best metal roofing screw gun on the market today? We're gonna find out in this deep dive of the DEWALT DCF622 screw gun with VersaClutch. What's up guys, welcome to the Metal Roofing channel. I'm Barnette. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. We release metal roofing and metal construction content every Monday and Wednesday. Today we're reviewing the DEWALT 20V Max XR VersaClutch adjustable torque screw gun because, well, it's pretty much the only screw gun on the market today specifically designed for metal roofing construction. We see metal roofers all the time using tools like impact drivers, and I get it. They're easy to use, but what happens so often is that the fasteners actually get fractured by the extreme torque of these tools. That's why it's recommended by basically every metal roofing fastener manufacturer to use a torque control tool like this one. As of May 2022, you can get the gun, 2 batteries, a charger, and a carrying bag for around $420 from Home Depot. Let's talk about the features and build of the tool itself. The DEWALT DCF622 screw gun with VersaClutch has a brushless motor capable of up to 2,000 RPMs, and that's the sweet spot when it comes to metal roofing applications. We'll talk more about that in a second. The gun itself is designed ergonomically so that you can apply vertical force with your hand in the same direction you're installing the fastener. It's got a 1/4-inch hex quick change chuck, which makes it really easy to change out driver bits. This is the heart of the VersaClutch system, the adjustment collar. To adjust the torque, you pull the collar and twist. There's a min-max range printed on the sleeve as well. It also has a dead spindle drive clutch. The spindle won't turn until pressure is applied to a fastener, which means you can place a fastener onto the driver bit while the screw gun is running. The forward reverse control lever is here, which for me personally is one of the drawbacks of the gun. The lever itself feels flimsy, and I'd rather see a button or something like that here so you can switch from forward to reverse more easily, especially if you're wearing gloves or something like that. Moving along, we have a variable speed trigger, of course, and right below that is a lock-on button that you can slide up to keep the gun running without having to hold down the trigger. It does come with an LED work light that turns off 20 seconds after the trigger is released, and a belt hook that you can install on either side of the tool. It runs on the DEWALT 20V Max XR lithium-ion batteries. They have a handy fuel gauge with 3 LEDs indicating the battery's approximate charge level. There's also a corded and non-corded version of the screw gun. When it comes to installing metal roofing, whether it's hidden fasteners or exposed fasteners, using a torque-controlled screw gun is really important because once you get above 2,000 RPMs, you run the risk of fracturing screw heads or stripping out the deck substrate. 1,800 to 2,000 RPMs is the acceptable range for most metal roofing fasteners to seat properly, and that is right where this gun sits. And one safety factor to think about too is that tools with higher RPMs and torque can wrench your arm and injure your wrist or shoulder, especially after years of extended use, and can even affect your balance on the roof as you're doing your job. The right tools for the job all make a difference in the quality of your finished product. So what about other tools besides the VersaClutch and besides DEWALT? Drills are not necessarily a bad option if you prefer Milwaukee or another brand, as long as it has torque control and you can dial it in to the correct RPM speeds. Do keep in mind a drill clutch will operate differently than the VersaClutch, which is unique to DEWALT. DEWALT makes a similar looking drywall gun, but that does not work the same. Those screws are seated differently, and the drywall screw gun goes up to a much higher 4,400 RPM speed. The DW269 VersaClutch goes the opposite way and sits at 1,000 RPMs. That's designed for heavy steel, again, not for metal roofing. Your clutch settings will need to change based on the metal, decking type, and screw type. Prep your gun on a scrap piece of metal and decking to test proper fastener seating and get that clutch set. DEWALT does say it's normal after a period of use for the tool to require a slightly different collar setting due to wear and tear on the clutch faces. One other important thing to know about the VersaClutch is that you can override the clutch ratchet if a fastener, say, hits a knot in the wood decking you're installing over or something like that. If you increase the pressure on the screw gun, that should cause the clutches to pick up and continue seating the fastener. And of course, if you need more torque, you can always twist the collar to a new setting. One final bonus tip, if you're using a hex driver, swarf that gets stuck in the bit can be annoying to get out, so a ball of butyl tape works great to clear those metal shavings out of the driver head. Remember, stick with a torque control tool for metal roofing fasteners to avoid fracturing the heads or stripping out the deck substrate. The DEWALT DCF622 screw gun with VersaClutch is a great choice. Thanks for watching. Comment below if you have any questions. Subscribe here to the Metal Roofing channel. As always, I'm Thad Barnette, and I'll catch you next time. Thank you.